Guys, Thunder E here, and welcome to another battle vid. Today's battle vid is the first one for 2015, and we are looking at two of the top tier Android tablets. Yes, first of all, it's the Nexus 9 made by HTC. This is the latest Nexus tablet, an 8.9-inch device running Android Lollipop. And we are also looking at the Dell Venue 8 7000, the latest, freshest tablets, first Android tablet of any notice in 2015 from Dell. So we're going to pair both of them together to see which is the better Android tablet to pick up right now on the market. Looking at both devices, these are well-crafted tablets in the Android market space. Now, the Nexus 9 retails for $399, starting in 16GB. The 32GB version goes up there in price to about $454. And the Dell Venue Pro only comes in one size, with 16GB at $399, although it does have expandable storage. Now, as you take a look at each device, we'll start off with the Nexus 9, of course, which is one of the main Android tablets that came out last year. Nexus 9 sports an 8-megapixel camera in the rear with LED flash. This is powered by the NVIDIA K1 processor. It's got that nice, super fast gaming processor from NVIDIA, built by HTC on this device. Now, a couple of things to note. So on the right-hand side here, we do have a power and volume rocker. If we go to the top, a headphone jack here for the device. We do have boom sound on this. So basically, we do have speakers right here in the front to give us some front-firing sound. It also has the knock feature, so basically you can double tap to wake, and that opens up this 8.9-inch display that we have here. I'm actually going to turn down the resolution so we can actually see much better. So it's an 8.9-inch display with a resolution of about 2560 by 153. I could be wrong, but it'll be on there on the screen for you. That's the resolution of this. The PPI is about 298. It's not bad, but it's still a solid looking tablet altogether. As I mentioned, 16GB of internal storage built into this tablet, and there is no expandable storage. There is an LTE version where you can use a nano SIM on this. Now, this is running Android 5.0, which is the latest version of Android. Again, let us drop this a little bit more so we get a better look at it here. So it's running the latest version of Android 5.0, which means you can see all the new 5.0 features on this device. And as we go into the settings, just to show you about the tablet, what we are running here, this is Android 5.0.1. That is the Nexus 9. It's got pretty good battery life, and we'll show you some more stuff on that, but that's the Nexus 9. The next device, of course, is our Dell Venue 8 7000. We just reviewed this. This is Dell's latest tablet entry in the Android market space. It's a very thin tablet at 6mm. You can see it's thin overall, really thinner than what you have here with the Nexus 9. And you can see it's got a nice, solid premium build all around. You've got power, volume rockers on the left-hand side. At the back, we do have 3 cameras. There's an 8-megapixel camera. There's no flash. You've got 2 720p cameras for depth sensing with Intel's RealSense. This is powered by the Intel Z processor. It's an Atom processor. It's also got 2 gigs of RAM. Nexus 9 also has 2 gigs of RAM also. And it has storage of 16GB. Now, the storage is expandable here with a micro SD card slot up to 512 megabytes on this device. Now, in the front, we have a 2-megapixel camera. We've got front-firing stereo speakers here, right here on the bottom side of the front, and we do have this 8.4-inch display, 2560 by 1600. This is a nice, vibrant 2K display. As we turn this on, you can see the display itself as it turns on. It's got what they call the infinity display with the very thin bezels all around, give you that very nice look to it. So as we slide this open, of course, we don't have to turn down some of our brightness features here. Just to show you can see that here, this is what we have here. This is running a custom version of Android, but it's running Android 4.4.4 from Dell. Dell does promise an update to Android 5.0.01. You can see 4.4.4 there. But this is the Dell Venue 8 7000. Yes, that's the name. So that is a look at the hardware from both devices here. Now, as you know, we do pick winners in each segment. So let's start with the hardware. First of all, they're both well-crafted hardware. They both have similar hardware specs all across in terms of functionality, but in terms of hardware design, you can see how thin the Dell is. Comparison also, and also its width. I have to give it to the Dell Venue 8 7000. Much thinner, much easier to handle with one hand as compared to what you have with the Nexus 9. It's easier to hold this compared to this. Yes, I can hold both of them, but you can see the difference there in just grip and hold. And also it's much slicker tablet, very thin profile, equal on each side, and very nice solid tablet to actually hold and carry around. So in terms of hardware, I have to give it to the Dell Venue 8 7000. Now let's talk about display. So both of them have pretty big displays. One is 8.9 inches, the other one is 8.4. So we're actually going to basically bring some of that brightness back up. Both devices, let's crank this up here, crank it up, and I have to tell you, the display I actually do like is right here. You really can't see it, of course, off the screen of this because it's actually too bright. But if I bring it down again, just to show you, I just wanted to show you different contrast ratios when you turn them down or up, or in this case, we put this one on auto. Okay, turn that down too. Let's put it here. Let's put it on auto, and let's see if we can find an auto base for this, since that doesn't have. Both displays are very vibrant. Well, what I like about the Dell Venue 8 7000 display is that it's got a higher PPI ratio, so which means things look sharper and crisper. Now, if you look at both images, actually when I look on my PC or I look at this image here, this is actually the correct skin tone for this photo. Yes, they're the same photo, but this has a better skin tone look on the Dell Venue 8000 than you will find here on the Nexus 9. Yeah, the Nexus 9 does a good job, but it's not as vibrant, especially with the lower PPI ratio than what I have with the Dell Venue 8 7000. So for my pick, it's got to be the Dell Venue 8 7000 in terms of display. So let's move along here. We've talked about displays, we've talked about design. Let us talk about software. Both are running Android, but both are running different versions of Android. And what you'll find here is that this is running Android 5.0, and this is running here Android 4.44 custom overlay. And there are benefits, of course, to running Android 5.0 over Android 4.44. What I have noticed is that the Nexus 9, it performs a little bit faster, a little bit smoother. Now that could be processor combined with software than what you have with the Dell. One of the things you'll notice is with the Nexus 9, you hold this, so you go into landscape mode, you see how that quickly turns over compared to the Dell. You hold it and then you turn it over. There's a low time delay, but then again, that's a mixture. But what I've noticed that the software use case, that Android 5.0 really is a much smoother experience over Android 4.0. Granted, yes, that is the case. So in terms of just pure stock software, or what we have as software, I have to give it to the Nexus 9. Android 5.0 is something that we definitely love to see here, but it really shines here on the Nexus 9. I will say that Dell has added a few other additives to make this experience a little bit better here. So in terms of that aspect, you do have things like the new camera, which gives you that Intel RealSense, and you also have the Max Audio, which is actually here on the top. So you can actually go ahead and customize your listening experience into different audio formats. So in terms of, say, music, videos, and gaming, you have that ability there. So in software additives, I think Dell adds a few things, not too much, in terms of like Dell Cast, where you can cast your whole your whole tablet onto the screen, not necessarily just casting, as well as the Dell camera and also the Max Audio, but not much. But I still would give Android 5.0 the edge here. So looking at that, the other thing to note with both devices, they both have front-firing speakers. Boom sound. Yeah, so let's take a sound sample of both speakers listening to video from our YouTube channel and see how they actually both fare. is a head-mounted display that packs a lot of things into it. So Microsoft says it's got a CPU, high-end CPU and high-end GPU. Not sure what that means or what that is. It could be something in the mobile range categories, but we know it's got a high-end CPU and GPU. They also said it's got a third processor in there called the HPU, or Holographic Processor. Now, I've heard arguments with Sam already today, and Microsoft calling this a HoloLens or holographic imaging. According to Microsoft, yes, it is holographic imaging because it is a display of light projected on the surface. Holograms! Not quite. The Microsoft HoloLens is really a head-mounted display that gives you an augmented reality look at things around you in terms of operating. So what Microsoft showed off today, called the HoloLens, is something that actually is a head-mounted display that packs a lot of things into it. So Microsoft says it's got a CPU, high-end CPU and high-end GPU. Not sure what that means or what that is. It could be something in the mobile range categories, but we know it's got a high-end CPU and GPU. They also said it's got a third...
In terms of sound quality from the speaker, I have to give it to the Dell Venue 87000. Yes, it has one speaker grill, but it is still a stereo speaker, and that Max Audio software really helps boosting out the sound. You can hear it's a little bit louder and clearer than what I got from the Nexus 9, but still the Nexus 9 does a very good job, but the Dell Venue 87000 I think really just kills it on that respect in terms of just sound. So all right, let's talk about battery life and performance. They both are Android tablets, but they both run two different sets of processor. The Nexus 9 is running the NVIDIA Tegra K1, and of course this is running an Intel. The Dell is running Intel Atom processor, Z processor here. Both of them are quad-core processors. Sorry, this is a quad-core and this is actually a dual-core processor, but in terms of battery life, they both have very, very good battery life. But I decided to use Tablet Mark to actually do some benchmarking testing. Yeah, I just ran something basic on both devices. So this is from Babco, which actually you can use different benchmarking results here on there. So taking a look at the let's turn this down a little bit. This is always the problem with screen resolution, but taking a look at the Nexus 9 here, you can see the tablet rating. This is basically full functionality and processor here. You can see it's got a tablet rating of 1223, which is pretty nice, and the battery life is 652. While when you look at the Dell here, for a tablet rating, and let's actually turn this down just a little bit more so we get a better idea. Tablet rating is 851, which is lower than what we found here with the Nexus 9, but the battery rating is 807, so much better battery rating altogether. So we can just put the scores in perspective here for you, and we take a closer look here at some of the score features. We can see here with the benchmark tests, runtime was 807 minutes for battery. Overall performance was 851. This is for the Dell Venue 87000 here, and you can see some of the benchmark iterations. Now, if we just go into that closely again for the Dell, here the performance was 1223, but the battery was 652 minutes here. So that is that. So in terms of battery life, the Dell should give you much better battery life, at least an extra almost close to an extra 160 something minutes more than you would get from the Nexus 9, but the Nexus 9 should give you better performances, especially also in gaming there. So performance tablet, battery life tablet, if you will, if I wanted to basically compare that. So we need to pick a winner. We've basically looked at both tablets in terms of form, functionality, and style, and we've looked at different aspects on there, but we really have to pick a winner with what we want. And for me, I have to go with the Dell Venue 87000. Yes, it isn't running the latest version of Android, which will come, but it is a really solid looking tablet. It's got a gorgeous display here, which you guys can see. Take off that glare. It's got great front-facing speaker, actually better than what HTC basically started off and built. It's got a very good battery life, solid performance, slick design, and something that at least does have expandable storage too, which is something that you cannot get with the Nexus 9. So if I were to pick between both tablets, I have to go with the Dell Venue 87000. That is pretty much the the better Android tablet right now, or pretty much the best Android tablet right now in the market. So that's it, guys. If you have any questions or any comments about this battle vid between the Nexus 9 and the Dell Venue 87000, let us know. Otherwise, don't forget to like this video, share this video, and favorite this video so we can make more videos for you. Do subscribe to the channel and always enjoy your entertainment.